In this video, we will teach you how to use the SquareLine Studio platform to generate LVGL interfaces and widgets, so that they can run on devices such as the CrowPanel Advanced 7-inch ESP32-P4 HMI AI display. This allows you to use more beautiful and convenient interfaces to control LEDs. Once you've learned this method, you can also use it to design more interesting and creative interfaces. Before we start, let's briefly introduce LVGL and SquareLine Studio. LVGL is an open-source, lightweight, and high-performance graphics library designed for embedded devices with limited resources. It provides rich UI widgets, animations, touch support, and highly customizable styles, making it widely used in smart home devices, industrial equipment, and many other applications. To make UI design easier, we can use SquareLine Studio. It is a powerful UI design tool that allows users to visually create embedded interfaces and export platform-independent code for LVGL, helping developers quickly build beautiful and functional graphical interfaces. Go to the download page. Here, please note that the version of SquareLine Studio we are using is 1.51. Scroll down and select version 1.51 to download. Choose the appropriate version according to your operating system. Here I am using Windows. Wait for the download to complete. After downloading, place the compressed file in a familiar folder and extract it. You will get an installation package. Double-click it to start the installation. Once the installation is finished, you will see the software icon on your desktop. Double-click to open the software, register an account and log in. After completing identity verification, you will be able to enter the SquareLine Studio interface. Next, we can start designing the LVGL interface step by step on the SquareLine Studio platform. On this initial screen, if you're using the CrowPanel Advanced 7-inch ESP32-P4 HMI AI display, or the 9-inch or 10.1-inch versions, please select the LVGL 9.2 template. This is because its resolution matches our product, and the platform used is ESP-IDF. Then, fill in the project path for your LVGL interface, and finally click Create to create the project. If you are using the CrowPanel Advanced 5-inch ESP32-P4 HMI AI display, please select the LVGL 8.3 template. This is because its resolution matches our product, and the platform used is also ESP-IDF. Then fill in the project path for your LVGL interface project, and finally click Create to create the project. Next, no matter whether you choose LVGL 9 or LVGL 8, the following interface design steps are the same. After entering the design interface, first click Add File into Assets at the bottom to add the desk lamp image material that we need. Then drag this image into the design area with your mouse and adjust it to a suitable position. Next, let's design the buttons. On the left side, under the Basics section, find Button and drag it into the design area. Then use the Settings panel on the right to customize the button. Here, I'm just showing an example. You can design any style you like. First, rename the button with a clear name so you can easily know what it is used for. Second, adjust the button's width, height, and position on the screen. Third, customize the button's appearance, such as its color, background, and border. In this example, I only change the button color. Fourth, since we want to turn on the LED when the button is clicked, we need to add an event to this button. Later, we will write the code to control the LED connected to the Advanced P4. It is recommended to give your events and functions clear and meaningful names, so they are easy to understand. Now that the button is ready, let's add a label to it so it's easier to see. Drag a label widget into the design area. In the same way, customize the label by renaming it and setting its text. Next, we need to bind the label to the button. Simply drag the label onto the button and they will be linked together. Then, set the label position to 0 so it stays in the center of the button. Now the ON label looks a little small. Let's adjust its size and color together. Alright, now it looks much better. With the ON button finished, creating the OFF button will be much easier. Here we can directly copy the ON button that we have already designed. Click Duplicate to copy all the settings of the ON button. After that, you will see a second button appear. At first, the copied button overlaps with the original one. Just drag the button and you will be able to see the duplicated one clearly. In this way, we only need to make some changes based on the original design, such as modifying the button name, position, and event name. This makes the design process much faster and easier. At this point, our complete UI design is finished. Next, let's export the UI project. Click File and then select Project Settings. Here, set the output folder for the exported UI files and configure the export options. Make sure all exported files are saved in the same folder. After setting everything, click OK to apply your changes. Now click Export to generate the UI files. Once the export is complete, go to the output folder you selected, and you will see all the exported UI files there. Now that the UI files have been exported, let's see how to use them in our code, so the product can display the UI interface. First, open the example code we provided using VS Code. You can see that we have created a UI folder inside the main directory. Copy all the exported UI files into this folder. Next, open the cmakelist.txt file under the main folder and add the UI directory. This allows Mancy to find where the UI files are located. Then, open if component symbol in the main folder and set the LVGL version to 9.22. After that, open the Mancy file and add this line. Number include UIH. This allows the program to access your designed UI files through UIH. Next in Mancy, add the function UI_init. This step is very important because it initializes and displays the UI on the screen. In UIC, all the UI elements are created and organized inside the UI_init function. So only after calling this function can the interface be shown correctly. Earlier in SquareLine Studio, we added events to both buttons. These events are used to turn the LED on and off when the buttons are clicked. At that time, we only created the callback functions, but we didn't implement their logic yet. Now let's complete this function. Go to the UI folder inside the main directory and find the file UI event C in this file. Add the following line. Number include BSP extra H. We add this library because the GPO extra set level function we use comes from the BSP extra component. This function is used to control the LED connected to pin 48. In other words, remember to connect an LED to the UR tone interface. After completing this step, both the UI design and the code implementation are finished. Now the code is ready. Next, we need to flash the program to the ESP32-P4 so we can see the final result. First, connect the CrowPanel Advance 10.1-inch ESP32-P4 HMI AI display to your computer using a USB cable. Here, we will use the 10.1-inch version as an example to demonstrate the process. Before starting the flashing process, first delete all the compiled files and restore the project to its initial uncompiled state. This helps make sure that the new compilation will not be affected by any previous build files. Next, following the steps in the first section, select the ESP-IDF version, the upload method, the serial port, and the target chip. Then we need to configure the SDK. Click the icon shown in the picture below. Wait for a moment while the system is loading. After the loading process is complete, you can continue with the SDK configuration. After enabling the SDK configuration, type config IDF experimental features in the search box. Check this option and then save the configuration. We need to enable the PS-RAM option so that there is enough RAM for the display. By enabling config IDF experimental features, we can select 200 MHz PS-RAM, which allows us to use higher memory speed and better performance. This is very important for running large and complex UI interfaces smoothly. Next, type flash in the search box. Make sure that your flash settings are the same as mine. Then select the partition table that we provided. Because the UI files include image resources, the partition size needs to be larger. So we have prepared a suitable partition table for you. Just use our partition table and everything will work properly. Finally, since we use the LVGL 48-point font for the labels in our UI design, we need to enable it in the SDK configuration so that it can be used in our project. After completing all the configurations, remember to save your settings. After finishing the SDK configuration, we are ready to upload the program. ESP-IDF provides a very convenient button that allows us to compile the code, flash the program, and open the serial monitor with just one click. Click this button to start building and uploading the code. After waiting for a moment, the compilation and upload process will be completed, and the display will turn on. Once the upload is successful, you will see this beautiful user interface. When you tap the ON button on the screen, the LED will turn on. When you tap the off button, the LED will turn off.